Now, following President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to net zero target in 2060, the federal government has flagged off the establishment of emissions trading schemes aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions, particularly carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. The Minister of Environment, Mohammed Abdullahi, at the flag-off said this would also follow public enlightenment and sensitization towards achieving Nigerians' climate action. Details are more on this report.
With the commencement of the implementation of Nigeria National Climate Change Act, which is expected to provide legal support for Nigeria's emission trading schemes, the emission trading scheme is basically a market-based approach used in the reduction of greenhouse gases emissions, particularly carbon dioxide, into the atmosphere. At the flag-off early today, the Minister of Environment, Mohammed Abdullahi, said that Nigeria will make a full dive in the process. Track up.
You will recall that Nigeria signed the Paris Agreement with the goal to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees and preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels, in addition to reducing global greenhouse gas emissions as soon as possible to achieve a climate-neutral world by mid-century. The government demonstrated political will with the signing of the National Climate Change Act, intended to support government's net zero agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to note that this event will trigger the critical first steps towards defining rules and responsibilities to institutions and entities that will ensure the objectives of the National Emission Scheme is met, which should essentially deliver on an effective mechanism for successful carbon pricing for Nigeria. We are not only in a hurry, but we are determined to do a 100 meters dash in this process. We may falter, but we will make corrections along the way. So therefore, this flag-off event signals the commencement of activities that will lead to the establishment of Nigerian Emission Trading Scheme, sensitize the public, and ensure coordination with other relevant arms of government and development partners under the leadership of the Federal Ministry of Environment, with very active collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Trade and Industries. With the commencement of the implementation of Nigeria's National Climate Change Act to provide required legal support for Nigeria's emissions trading, it is indeed a great pleasure, personally, for me, that I hereby plug off these activities towards enabling programs emission trading framework.
Also speaking, the UNDP representative noted that carbon trading could provide a lot of environmental benefits to the country and should be both medium and long-term objectives.
Emission trading gives flexibility to government to deal with vested interest and allows governments and decision makers to focus on acceptability of initial allocations in both domestic and international context. Emission trading systems exposes emitters to external costs of emission in a more flexible and least costly way. The design of such a system needs to consider local context and regulations, as well as interlinkages with other policy areas. This is why we're delighted to see a lot of presence from across government here today. For a country like Nigeria, carbon trading should be looked at both in the medium and long-term objectives, which can, at the end of the day, provide a lot of environmental benefits to the country. Today, in Nigeria, we will need to take a critical look at the sectors, especially transport, energy, and construction. These are the sectors in which emissions are actually shooting up instead of going down, despite improvement we've seen recently.
Emissions trading, also known as cap and trade, is a cost-effective way of reducing greenhouse gases emissions.